All set? All right. Hi, James. Welcome to the Counseling Center. My name is Bryce Davis, and I'll be working with you today. Before we begin, I was just hoping that you would tell me a couple things about yourself, such as things that you're interested in, maybe your major, and if you have anything in the coming weeks that you're excited for, you can share that.
I'm in my third year. I'm an education major. I'm interested in teaching. I like history. I'm honestly not really looking forward to much anymore. So as far as the future, I don't really care.
So not much coming up in the next couple weeks that you're excited about, that are coming on?
Not at all.
Okay, gotcha. So before we begin, I do want to share with you confidentiality and what that means to get us here at the center. And so confidentiality is essentially what we tell you will not go anywhere it doesn't need to go. And so what I like to tell people is what you say to me stays with me. The only people who may come in contact with information about you is my supervisor, as they have access to my entire caseload, as well as if you inform me that you may hurt yourself or hurt others. At that point, I would have to inform my supervisor as well as other parties to make sure that you or the other people are safe. In addition, if you tell me that you plan on damaging property, I will also have to report that as well to my supervisor or any other necessary authority. Do you have any questions about confidentiality and what that means?
No, that makes pretty much sense.
Okay, awesome. So I was just wondering before we get started if there's anything that's on your mind that you want to talk about today specifically, and then after that we can dive on in.
I wouldn't say it's on my mind, but I just haven't been very happy at all, like lately. Life kind of sucks, really. It's just not really enjoying anything.
Okay, so I hear that you're saying that you're unhappy right now and that not much is bringing you joy, which might even be reflected in that you're not looking forward to anything in a couple of weeks. Do you want to talk about that a little more? Is there anything that's maybe happened recently?
One thing was probably my lack of relationship now. I was in a relationship and then she decided to see other people while we're together. And so now we're not together anymore and that kind of sucks. That has a huge part of it, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So recently out of a relationship, maybe didn't end in a constructive way, and that is impacting how you feel about yourself and other people, or okay. And so have you talked with anybody in your family or friends about how this transition has affected you?
I don't really talk to my family as much just because I have been in college. We used to be really close, but just because of distance and I don't see them every day when I wake up, I don't talk to them as much. Friends-wise, not at all. They treat me just as bad, honestly. Don't hang out with them. They don't hang out with me. They always socialize and they don't really invite me anymore. I'm not really sure why, but I can never get an invite. I always see them on Instagram and Snapchat and everything, but I'm always at home and they're always out. And I really don't understand that.
Okay, so you have this disconnection with your girlfriend going on. Also, you said you used to be really close with your family, but it sounds like maybe college is taking away from that.
Yeah.
And then finally, it sounds like you and your friends are maybe not seeing eye to eye.
Yeah.
So how is all of this kind of like, how are you coping with all of this? What are you doing?
I thought I was coping with it well, and then my grades just start going down and down and down, and they're horrible now. I got into drinking. I did drugs, a few of them, and that's honestly all I've been really doing now. And it's not helping, but it just at this point it's an activity because I don't have anything else to do. So if that makes sense.
So tell me a little bit about your alcohol and drug use. Like how frequently, how much?
Drinking, I would say, I don't know, majority of the week. it's hard for me to put a rough number on it, but most days out of the week I will drink. I'll have multiple drinks at that. As far as drugs, well, basically every day, honestly.
So alcohol and drugs every day.
For the most part, yeah.
Okay. Are you alcohol and drugs together, separate?
Sometimes separate, sometimes together. It's just depending on how I'm feeling, what's going on. It tells me how.
Gotcha. And have you ever used alcohol in the past, or any of the substances that you're currently using before all the stress?
Alcohol, yes, but not to this extent. I didn't really consume alcohol because I was upset or because I was bored. It was kind of like, oh, I'm with my friends or whatever. It was more social drinking.
Okay.
It was more responsible. Versus now I'm doing it because I'm bored and I'm just at home thinking all the time. As far as drugs, to an extent, it was social, but it was nowhere near like now at all.
And if you don't mind me asking, what drugs are you using?
Marijuana.
Okay.
Mostly marijuana. Sometimes it's been a few other things, but 8 times out of 10 is marijuana.
Gotcha. And do you have any family history of either alcohol or marijuana use or abuse?
Abuse? Nah, no, not that I can think of. No.
Okay. Family member or like mother, father, brother, sister?
Father, definitely. To both. I wouldn't say it was to the level of abuse though, but I think he does definitely. Well, he definitely does. Mother, not so much. I think the rest of the family is more of a social thing.
Okay.
For him, it was kind of touching that line a little bit more.
So maybe your dad drinks a little bit more than other people in your family, but you don't say or think that it goes all the way to abuse.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think it's too far. Nah.
Gotcha. But you think that where you're at now might be abuse, and is what you're drinking now more than your dad?
Probably. I would say it's close as far as consumption level, but I think also for why I'm drinking is what makes it worse.
Gotcha. So when do you start to say, like you said, you're bored. So when do you say, okay, I'm so bored that I'm gonna drink? And are there other things like that you're thinking about when you're bored?
If I'm just starting my day out, it's a day where I really don't have anything to do. It'll start off, maybe I'll have, one beer or something, call it a day. And then, I'll just still be there bored with nothing to do. TV's just the same after a while. I'll start to go more into hard liquor. And then I'll just start going from there. And I'll say, hey, maybe I could build my tolerance up. You never know. And so I build up and I keep going and I keep going.
Gotcha. Do you have a specific reason why you want to build your tolerance, or is it just because you're bored?
It's out of boredom.
Okay.
Complete boredom.
Gotcha. Are you going to class? Because it sounds like you said you stay home a lot. So I was just wanting to see if you were going to class.
Most of the time I do go to class.
Okay.
There has been times where I haven't gone to class. I wouldn't say it was drinking related. However, I did end up drinking during that time, which I missed class, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. And then you had also mentioned your grades. So you're going to class.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about your grades.
A little bit after I was getting cheated on, I just kind of tuned out from the world really, and I just noticed my grades were dropping. Everything I turned in, I was just failing.
Okay. So you think that what I'm hearing is that you and your girlfriend or ex-girlfriend breaking up put you in a place that didn't allow you to perform academically. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. A lot of stress, anxiety, possibly going on with that breakup.
Yeah.
So how has all of this affected you personally?
It just really sucks. Like this feeling that I have is something that it won't go away. It's no matter what's going on, this feeling's here. I
Okay. So you said this feeling, and what I heard is that it's like every day, or almost every day maybe, and that it's difficult to live with this feeling.
Yes.
Um, and so I just want to be completely transparent with you in what I'm hearing. And so if this catches you off guard, feel free to say so. But I was just wondering if you've ever thought about killing yourself.
Yes, I have.
So you've thought about it. Do you plan on killing yourself?
I don't have a plan per se. I've always thought about it, but I don't have anything set in stone.
Okay. So tell me a little bit what those thoughts have looked like for you.
Either I could get a gun and do it, I could take too much of the wrong drug and do it. Somewhere in the middle of that, I'm honestly not sure.
Okay.
But those are definitely the routes I've thought of.
So do you have access to a gun currently?
No, but I know it wouldn't be hard to get one.
Okay. So you don't have access now, but it wouldn't be like hard for you to be like, okay, let me just go find one today. And you said possibly using drugs. The only drugs we've talked about is weed and alcohol. So would you use one of those or a different drug?
No, I would use a different one, more not pain relaxer, but muscle relaxer or something around that sort.
Okay, so something that is numbing, where you can get high, and then you would hope that you would get so high that you
I'd
would
just
die.
be done.
Okay. And how long have you thought about this?
Definitely since the breakup.
Okay.
So a while now.
Is that one of the reasons why you came in today? Is that you were concerned?
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely was. Yeah.
Have you thought about sharing with? You said you're really close with your family. Before college kind of got in the mix, have you thought about talking to them about how you're feeling? Just in general, it could be about your girlfriend. It could be about school. It could be about what you just shared with me about your suicide ideation.
I have. For different reasons, I don't share certain things with them.
Okay.
For our parents, they before my grades, so it's hard for me to talk to them about my grades. As far as my friendships, I talk to them about that. We do talk about how my friends have been acting. But as far as our relationship, it's hard for me to talk about because that's embarrassing. And I'm the oldest out of my siblings, so I don't like that embarrassment.
Okay. So there's maybe a sense of like shame or guilt or that you feel because was it because you got out of the relationship or how the relationship ended?
Yeah, how it ended.
Okay. So the act of someone cheating on you. Gotcha. I understand. And for your friends, it's just right now it's a no-go. It's they're not a good social support system for you. Have you ever tried like pulling them aside and talking to them about their behavior? Not so much about what's going on right now, but about how y'all are interacting.
Yes and no. I tried to just meet up with them. I didn't tell them obviously I wanted to talk or anything like that, but I have tried to meet up with them, and in those cases they don't show up or they're too busy all of a sudden or things like that. So I've reached out, but I'm still waiting on replies, I guess.
Gotcha. What about in your classes? You say you go to class frequently. Are you friends with anybody in your classes? Like, do you sit next to the same person every day? And I don't know. Tell me an English class you have or education class you have.
Yeah, I mean, there's people I've talked to, people I've worked with before in the past over projects and things like that. I wouldn't call them friends, but they're people I've associated with.
Okay. So maybe that could be a new friend network for you, possibly. Say, hey, we worked on this project, we got along really well. Do you want to go grab a beer? Maybe not a beer, but do you want to go hang out at this event coming up on campus?
Okay.
So that could be something to consider. But one thing that I am really concerned about is, as you had mentioned, your suicide ideation. And I was hoping that you would talk a little bit more about that. So you said that it started occurring a little bit after the breakup with your girlfriend, and that that you feel it every day.
Yes.
So how have you been coping with it up until now?
It's just been really hard for me, because this isn't the first go around, if that makes sense. Way back in high school, I had kind of a similar situation in which a relationship didn't work. I tried cutting, and that I don't know why I did it, but I definitely did it. And it kind of set me down that path. I was able to get out of it eventually, but it's something that's always been in my mind since then. So granted, I got out of it and I kind of stopped thinking about it, but those thoughts were still there. They never got away. So as I was dealing with these things now, with my last relationship, it's like these thoughts came back, and it's just like, I don't want to keep living like this. Like, this is horrible. And I'm just completely fine with just ending this at this point.
So in the past, you had similar feelings that you're feeling now, suicide ideation, sadness, depression, maybe, and at that time you used cutting as a way to get through that and cope with that.
Right.
Have you cut at all recently since high school?
Since high school, I haven't cut, but that's when I started picking up the alcohol and the drug. I wasn't doing that then, so instead of cutting, I picked that up more.
So now you've kind of substituted cutting for alcohol.
Yeah.
Have you thought about cutting at all? Have you considered it as an option?
I've thought about it, but I haven't done it. No.
Okay, gotcha. And does anyone in your family have depression or anxiety, or do you know of anyone who's ever had similar feelings that you're feeling now?
I've seen people go through depression, or people say that they've been experiencing depression.
Okay.
I never really understood it. I never really knew the people well enough to talk to them like fully about it.
Right.
But it's something I've seen, it's something I've heard about, and it's definitely something that I'm going through. Yeah.
Okay. I understand. So there's some family history, but maybe you don't know the full circumstances of it.
Right.
Do you know if anybody in your family sought treatment at all?
That I have no idea. I would probably say no.
Okay.
Most people in my family were not big on seeking outside help or things like that.
Gotcha.
So this is like granted, like even me coming here, my family told me not to do it. So
Gotcha.
this is kind of
Well, it's awesome that you did come in. This gives you an opportunity to get all this off of your chest. Possibly, hopefully, get help as well. Speaking of getting help, I think it would be beneficial if we referred you to the hospital.
okay.
So what that looks like is I will get my supervisor. They will contact the local hospital and let them know that we may have somebody coming in for eval. And I'm just concerned about your current well-being. So you say that you can't live with this any longer. You have a plan that you have like access to, like you mentioned your gun. So I just want to share with you why I think that might be your best option today.
Okay.
And I was just hoping that you would be in agreement that we could get you set off to our local hospital.
I'll try it.
Okay.
Sure.
Awesome. So I'm glad that we're in agreement. Let me go grab my supervisor and we can head on in.